Week 3, we will focus on learning attitudes. We will learn about various cognitive and affective models that influence and form consumers' attitudes based on high-effort processes and low-effort processes. An attitude is a relatively global and enduring evaluation about an offering, issue, activity, person, or event. Attitudes can be described in terms of their favorability, accessibility, confidence, persistence, resistance, and ambivalence. When motivated ability and opportunity is high, consumers devote considerable effort to processing a message. The thoughts and feelings that they have in response to this situation can affect their attitudes through either a cognitive or an affective route to persuasion. From a cognitive perspective, attitudes can be based on cognitive responses, which are defined as thoughts that individuals have in response to a stimulus. Three major types of cognitive responses are counterarguments, support arguments, and source derogations. Many counterarguments and source derogations would suggest that consumers' attitudes toward an offering are negative. A second cognitive-based perspective on attitudes is the expectancy value approach. The theory of reasoned action is designed to predict not only attitudes but also behavioral intentions. This model predicts that intentions are affected by consumers' attitudes toward the act and normative actors. The model also identifies how attitudes and intentions can be influenced by four major strategies: change beliefs, change evaluations, add new beliefs, and target normative beliefs. Also, under elaborative processing, messages can be effective if they have a credible source, have a strong argument, present positive and negative information, or involve direct comparisons. Attitudes are also formed from feelings or emotions such as joy or fear. In essence, consumers can experience emotions either when they are effectively involved with a communication or when the message involves an emotional appeal. In either case, the consumer holistically processes the communication and the feelings that result can determine attitudes. When attitudes are effectively based, sources that are likable or attractive can have a positive impact on affective attitude change. Emotional appeals can affect elaborative processing if they are relevant to the offering. This is the theory we call the match-up hypothesis. Fear appeals are a specific type of emotion-eliciting message. A consumer's attitude toward the ad can play a role in the attitude change process if the ad is informative or associated with positive feelings. The ad can then rub off on brand beliefs and attitudes. Chapter 6 focuses on the process by which marketers can change consumers' attitudes when motivation, ability, opportunity is low, and hence the effort consumers expend to process information is low. This chapter first examines unconscious influences on consumers' attitudes, including things like judgments and body feedback. This chapter then examines the cognitive basis of attitudes and how marketing communications can be designed to enhance consumers' attitudes. When attitudes of low MAO consumers are based on cognitive processing, the message should affect their beliefs. These beliefs may be formed by simple inferences, attributions, or rules of thumb. Marketers can also affect the salience, strength, or favorability of consumers' beliefs when attitudes are based on simple beliefs. Characteristic of the source, characteristics of the message, and characteristics of the context. Each influence one or more of the dimensions of beliefs. According to the mere exposure effect, when MAO is low, consumers' attitudes toward an offering become more favorable as they become more familiar with it. Classical conditioning predicts that consumers' attitude toward an offering, the offering is the conditioned stimulus, or we call it CS, are enhanced when it is repeatedly paired with a stimulus, the unconditioned stimulus, that evokes a positive emotional response. This effect is more likely to occur when a conditioned stimulus and unconditioned stimulus link is novel, when the consumer is aware of the link, when the unconditioned stimulus and conditioned stimulus fit together, and when the conditioned stimulus precedes the unconditioned stimulus. Furthermore, if consumers like a particular ad, these feelings may be transferred over to the brand. This is the theory we call it as dual mediations hypothesis. Additionally, attitudes toward an offering can also be affected by consumers' mood and their tendency to evaluate the offering in a mood congruent direction. Finally, in Chapter 6, attitudes based on affective processes can be made more favorable when consumers' MAO and efforts are low. Characteristics of the source, for example, attractiveness, likability, celebrity. Characteristic of the message, for example, pleasant pictures, pleasant music, humor, sex, emotional content. And characteristics of the context, program or editorial context, can each influence affectively based attitudes.